Check your calendars, folks. It is February 19th, 2026. And if you're doing business in Jamaica, you know exactly what that means. Tax season is officially heating up.
Oh, yeah. Usually everyone's just, circling March 15th in bright red ink and stressing out.
Right. But the government just threw a pretty massive curveball at us regarding the filing deadlines.
It's definitely a shift. I mean, we are so used to that sort of Ides of March panic, where the deadline is just the deadline for absolutely everyone.
Yeah, that classic one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. But looking at the new release from Tax Administration Jamaica, the TTA, that approach is officially gone for the 2025 year of assessment.
So our mission for this deep dive is to figure out who actually gets a break and who is stuck with the status quo. Because reading through these notes, it looks like a split deadline system now.
That is the perfect way to put it. It's a split system. Effective immediately for the returns you're filing right now in 2026, there's a hard line drawn between corporate entities and individuals.
Okay, so let's start with the big news. Who gets the extra time?
The corporate world. Under the new amendments to the Income Tax and Assets Tax Acts, the deadline for final corporate income tax and assets tax returns has been pushed back.
A full month, right.
Exactly, to April 15th.
April 15th. That is huge for accountants. But when we say corporate, I want to make sure we aren't losing people in the jargon.
Yeah.
We're talking about the standard ITO2 form and the ATO2 for assets tax, right?
Mainly, yes. The ITO2 for bodies corporate is the big one. But this extension is actually quite broad.
Okay, so it covers more than just standard corporation.
Yeah, it covers life assurance companies filing the ITO4, registered charities using the IT12, and even special economic zones on the IT15.
What about the edge cases, though? Because I saw something in the notes about unincorporated bodies getting the extension, too, which sounds a bit contradictory.
It does sound a bit weird, doesn't it? But think of entities like building societies, cooperative societies, or trusts.
Oh, right.
They technically file an ITO3 form, which we usually associate with partnerships. But for these specific unincorporated groups, they get that April 15th pass.
Okay, so if I'm running a building society or a massive limited company, I can breathe easy until April.
Well,
But I have a feeling this is where the good news ends. What about the freelancers, the sole traders, standard partnerships?
yeah, this is the reality check. If you're an individual self-employed person filing an SO4 or a standard partnership using the ITO3, you do not get the extension.
Ouch.
Your deadline is still the traditional March 15th.
Got it.
Although there's a tiny calendar nuance this year. Since March 15th falls on a Sunday in 2026, the TJ doesn't expect you to file until the next business day.
Ah, so your actual panic date is Monday, March 16th.
Exactly. Monday the 16th.
So Monday the 16th for regular folks, April 15th for the big companies. It seems like the government is trying to spread out the paperwork load so their systems don't crash.
That is likely part of it. But, and this is but if you are a corporate entity thinking you can just tune out until April, you are walking into a trap.
I knew there was a catch. Let's hear it.
It's the difference between final and estimated declarations. And this is the insight that really needs to stick here.
Okay.
The April extension only applies to your final return. That's the paperwork telling the government what you actually made last year.
Well, the government also wants to know what I plan to make this year, right?
Exactly. The estimated income tax return, the ITO7 for corporates, and the SO4A for individuals. That deadline has not moved an inch.
Whoa, hold on.
It is still due March 15th or March 16th, observed, for absolutely everyone.
Wait, so as a corporation, I can wait until April to tell them my history, but I've got to predict my future by March.
You nailed it. It is a completely decoupled process now. You have to file your estimates in mid-March, even if your final numbers for the previous year aren't submitted until April.
That feels like a workflow nightmare, because if you haven't finished the final numbers, how accurate can your estimates even be?
That is the exact friction point. And it gets real because the payment schedule hasn't changed either. The government still expects that first quarterly tax payment on March 15th.
Right. Cash flow is king. They aren't giving you an extra month to hold on to the money.
Definitely not. March 15th, June 15th, September 15th, December 15th, those payment dates are set in stone.
So even if your paperwork is delayed, your checkbook shouldn't be?
Precisely.
So practically speaking, what does this mean for our listener? If I'm a CFO or a business owner, I can't really just wait for April, can I?
No, you really can't. In fact, Premium Consultancy Services Limited explicitly advises against waiting. We all know the TJ portal, right?
Oh yeah, www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. I can practically see the server busy screen in my head right now.
Same. If everyone, individuals doing finals and corporates doing estimates, hits that site on Monday, March 16th, it's going to be sluggish.
Definitely.
So the best move is to get the estimates and the payments sorted early, regardless of the April extension for the final paperwork.
So the breathing room is a bit of an illusion.
It's administrative breathing room, not financial breathing room.
That is a crucial distinction. Okay, let's wrap this up. Individuals, you are marching toward March 16th for everything. Corporates, you have a split brain. Money and estimates now. Final data in April.
That is the snapshot.
Awesome. Well, here's the question I want to leave you with today. We are seeing a shift toward more complex, staggered compliance. If you're running a business, does this split deadline actually help you, or does it just increase the risk that the early March deadline slips through the cracks because you're too focused on the April finish line?
It is definitely a real test of your internal controls.
Check those calendars twice. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.
Good luck with the filing.